because I don't have a Nigerian accent. Like, I don't think of Nigerians as having accents. I just think of that as that's just the way that we, folks talk, But people who aren't Nigerian, you hear someone from another country, right? You're like, oh, that's an accent, right? So because I, and I have a fro hawk, and I dress the way that I dress, and I'm very, very out about my sexuality in ways that people don't always have the safety to be on the continent, specifically in Nigeria. So for me, it's important to complicate what folks think Nigerian is. And I think I remember as a child someone saying to me, "Oh, so are there buildings in Nigeria?" And I was a preteen. I was like 11 or 12, and I was like, "Wow." I didn't even know how to answer that question because I felt like it was so stupid. And not like not stupid like there's something wrong with you, but like, dude, of course there's buildings. Like, if someone were to ask you if there's buildings in New York, wouldn't you be like, yeah, dude, there's buildings? So it was, and having to deal with people's ignorance of where I'm from all the time in those kind of real basic ways, I think it's real important to complicate what folks see as Nigerian, or what they think is a dyke, or whatever they think. That's part of it. I think also, like, deeper than that is just, I'm a Nigerian woman and I'm a dyke, and I'm really proud of that. And so I just want to proclaim that, like, oh, my name's Yvonne, I'm a poet, I'm Nigerian, I'm a dyke. Like, it's just who I am. I think that because of my geographic location, it becomes even more important to proclaim being Nigerian because I'm proud, and I want to rep where I'm from,
Gotcha. I'm with you. I'm totally with you. That's why I wanted to ask that question, just because, it is something that you're definitely letting everyone know from the get-go, and so I was wondering what the importance was. Because some people, they try to erase where they come from, and some people embrace it. So obviously you're embracing it, so we're going with that. Now, in the beginning, you told us, when I first read the bio on you and I was reading up on you and things, and I got, everything, the activist, the poet, the dancer, essayist, playwright, and actress, and I kept thinking of the old question, which came first, the egg or the chicken, and you said that poetry did. So tell us a little bit about the poet in you.
Well, actually, I didn't start writing poetry. I started off writing stories. I may have misspoke. I always think about I think of myself when I think of the writing that I do. I do a lot of different kinds of writing, but I say often that I'm a poet when I want to keep it super simple, because sometimes it just feels good to just be simple. But I actually started writing stories. So I remember I just come back from Nigeria and I started writing. I was super lonely as a child at times, and I just wanted to create another world where I had, like, friends that I felt like were fun and whatever I wanted them to be. And being a writer, of course, you always want to create things in a certain way. And so I started writing at 9. I remember writing haunted house stories and writing, like, 5 kids in a car. Well, I don't know if they were kids. Probably 5 teenagers in a car, and like going on a road trip and stuff like that. And then I remember specifically in 6th grade in Mrs. Minico's English class, I wrote my first poem. I wrote my first 3 poems, actually, and it just was so natural, and I think it was so magical and natural. And I was like, wow. And then I just would write all the time about just anything and everything that was going on in my world. And I feel also that no matter what genre I'm writing in, be it like essays or novels or plays, that poetry is like the language with which I speak. Like, yes, it's vast majority of my work is in English, but like poetry is in everything. Like, when I write stories, I feel like there's just no line breaks sometimes in the poems as opposed, you know what I mean? Like, it's just almost a different kind of poetry for me. And, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. It makes sense. Now, you mentioned, writing stories and then writing your first poem that you in 6th grade. But, I mean, and I'm going to go back to the Nigerian influence here. Most people think a little bit more stricter, not as relaxed upbringing when most, you see most movies, shows, and things like that, or friends that you know. It seems like they're a little bit more
And I'm closest to my mom, you know, because she's in the States. We have the most contact. So she's very supportive, actually. She's probably my biggest supporter. Like if I had told her that I wanted to be an archaeologist or an astronaut, she'd be like, cool. I want to open a restaurant? Okay. I want to win a Nobel Prize and a Pulitzer Prize? Okay. You should win it. You should have already won it. You're so amazing. Like my mom, no, I'm really serious. Like she's that person. She's like, I don't care what you do. I just want you to be happy doing it. And she, yeah, so I'm super blessed in that regard. And I think a lot of children of immigrants, people come to this country for opportunity, you know, or to seek, you know, political asylum or a combination of both or other reasons. So yeah, I think that a lot of folks come here and they want their kids to like make money, which is like be a doctor, be a lawyer, be something that's going to make you money and be solid and reliable and yada yada. So that's very real, but that was never for my mom. I didn't get that from my mom. When I went back to Nigeria, I hadn't been home in 18 years, and I went back in 2007. And my dad and my brothers were like, yeah, so you're going to go back to school, right? Because I got my BA, and they're like, okay, so when are you going to get, you know, you're going to go back to school? And I'm like, I don't know if I want to, blah, blah, blah. But there's definitely, we have a lot of value placed on education, I think, because, you know, we see it as a way to access resources. My dad is a writer, actually, and so is my brother. So it's one of my older brothers. So we value writing. They're journalists. So there is a value in writing in my family. It's not, like, looked down upon. I am not a journalist. But there is, like, value for writing. I think that my dad wants me to make money. But I think because we have, you know, and my family wants me to be successful, because I had been away for so long, like there wasn't like so much time to be like, to focus so much on that. Like a lot of questions that I got were like, yeah, so when are you getting married? So did you come home to get married? Are you getting married? Like what's going on? When are you going to have kids? I mean, you're 27 years old. I was like, okay, missed you too. But, so yeah, it's been fine. My mom, I think my mom being so supportive is really, it gives me, I don't know, I don't have the kind of issues that a lot of people have in the same way, like wanting to please your parents and stuff, especially wanting to please parents that want you to do something else. Like I see like friends of mine who are artists go through that, and it's really heartbreaking to me because everyone deserves to have people in their lives who value their dreams. And my mom really values my dreams, and that's really a deep blessing for me. It makes me value my dreams as well, you know, because I know that one of her dreams is for my dreams to be fulfilled. So I know it's really like it's beautiful and inspiring for me. At the same time, you know, I definitely am a child of immigrants, and I do want to get my degrees. And for a long time, I was like, I'm not going back to school. Fuck school. I'm so tired of school. It's so draining. And I took a break from grad school, and I'm going back to grad school actually in the fall. Partly, I think, because, you know, I want my degrees, but also because I really do want to take time to study what I love in a space that is designed to give you space to work on it, you know? Like, there's a lot of issues with, of course, like higher education and whether or not all folks can access it due to, like, you know, economic resources and all kinds of bullshit, you know? But